on Movie, trying to see if he could take that Expo down, try and see if he could do some serious damage to Movie. Movie, though, holding him off well, and it looks like the battle lines are being drawn. We are seeing the establishment of a front between these two players here, right along the center of the map. They are carving it up between them, and we are settling in for what is going to be a protracted battle of wits between these two StarCraft players. And it's really impossible to say which, if either of these players has a discernible advantage in this game right now. I certainly don't see one for either player. Both players seem to be doing quite well. We've got Movie with 4 bases and Flash with 3, though it's quite normal for a Terran player to be slightly down on bases. Now Flash is starting to bring those vultures out. We all know how excellent his vulture play can be, and I'm sure Flash is hoping that he can try and use those vultures to tilt the balance of the game in his favor. Plant some spider mines along the middle of the map, do some harassing raids, and just keep Movie on his toes, see if he can snipe a few units along with it. Doesn't look like either player is really ready to make a committed push. Both players seem to be content to just secure their own positions right now. Movie content to just hold Flash back at that ridge and prevent Flash from coming down and putting pressure on that Expo at the 5 o'clock position that Flash had attacked earlier. Flash, with those 4 supply depots built in front of his line, seemed to be content to sit there, and really Movie's going to find it very hard to break him down. The one thing I feel that Movie is lacking in is High Templar. I really would like to see Protoss players get those High Templar out, get them out early, and really use them effectively. Movie has got a large enough army that he can protect those High Templars, I feel, from Flash's vultures that seem to be heading towards the north, where Movie looks like he is setting up an expansion at that 12 o'clock base, looking at the mini-map, and Flash is just going to try and get there. It'll be interesting how many probe kills he can get here. Flash is putting some spider mines down to slow Movie's reinforcement. He's unfortunately not going to get any probe kills. That expansion is just going down. There's going to be that photon cannon. Those vultures are going to be pushed into that top left-hand corner by Movie's forces, though it doesn't look like Movie is chasing after them. Flash is putting a couple more spider mines down there. That observer from Movie has seen those vultures, and that robotics facility, I thought Flash would have taken that down long ago with even a handful of units, but that robotics facility is still intact along with the pylon. Flash is going to be able to take it down just now. Movie with a good-sized army here in the middle of the map, and you feel he is in a decent enough position. I mean, if you look at in terms of territory being secured, Movie has got that kind of top half well secured. He's got that 12 o'clock expansion, but he's also got this bottom right expansion, which is the 5 o'clock expansion, and Flash is going to find it a lot harder right now to try and take that expansion at the top left-hand corner of the map, which is the 11 o'clock expansion. So that does give Movie a little bit of an advantage in that regard. Now Movie with his arbiters out into play as well, but neither player really making an aggressive move thus far. Both players content to mass up for the time being, and you feel it's only a matter of time before one of these players decides to do something. So far, the battle lines have been drawn. Flash in anticipation of those arbiters pumping up those turrets on the ground. Now Movie coming in. It'll be interesting to see whether he's gone for stasis or recall here. He's just at that ramp, just next to Flash's main. Movie, if he goes for a recall here, he could be in trouble because Flash does have those turrets and he could end up losing his first arbiter. Flash with 5 supply depots in front of his National Expo. Movie with the arbiter looks like he's pushing in. Looks like Movie's going for an attack here. This is crazy by Movie, folks. There's supply depots blocking. Movie managed to get a stasis off. Only has about 3 siege tanks in the stasis as well, but the 2 of the supply depots have gone down. Movie's army is closing in on Flash, but Flash has got a lot of units that he's got reinforcements pouring in, and I'm not sure if Movie has enough to break Flash's front door down here. Those tanks are shelling heavily at Movie's forces. Movie coming in with more zealots as well, but he's going to be forced to retreat, and Movie with a fruitless and pointless attack, throwing away almost half his army there. Completely ridiculous, just walking into a kill zone and offering Flash a Christmas 11 months too early, guys. Crazy play by Movie there with the supply depots in place. Surely when he saw the supply depots with his arbiter, he should have pulled out, but maybe he'd already moved everything in by then and just didn't have the wherewithal to pull back. But he's now given Flash an opportunity to counter push and put pressure on him, and Flash is going to be able to move across the map a lot more freely now, having significantly reduced the size of Movie's standing army, and you can just see those orange waves casually slipping across the map now, and Flash trying to see if he can try and do some damage at that Expo down at the bottom right hand corner of the map at the 5 o'clock position, blocked by 2 pylons, but Flash has got a couple. It looks like there was a siege tank heading towards it, and Movie could potentially use that Expo here. Movie now coming in with 3 arbiters. It looks like it looks like he's got 3 arbiters in play there heading in. Looks like he might be potentially trying to do a recall, although I'm not sure if he would have enough. Well, he does have 3 arbiters, so he could potentially have enough energy for it. He's got a lot of he's got his High Templar finally out, which I think he should have brought out a lot earlier. They're just so useful to have, and I'm surprised he didn't. And Flash now has secured some territory at the bottom left hand as a counter to Movie's push against his main, and that has cost Movie, because now Flash looks like he's going to be able to put pressure on that 5 o'clock base and potentially take it down, and that's going to significantly reduce Movie's position in this game. And yep, Flash with the siege tanks in play and the vultures, and that is just that's what happens when you take a risk like that and commit your forces. You leave yourself vulnerable to counterattack, and Flash is playing a good counterpunch strategy here. Movie looks like he's massing his forces yet again. He's got a lot of arbiters. I wonder if they're hallucinations. It must be. There's no way he's got 6 arbiters out that quickly. So it looks like Movie, and I really love hallucinations. I think it's just so great to use them. I think we saw Iris use hallucinations to great effect against Bisu in that epic matchup that I covered ages ago. But now we've got Movie coming in, and those are hallucinations are going the number, so he's going to be able to get that recall off now. Movie's forces in Flash's base. Flash coming around. He's got a couple of science plus out as well. EMP goes off on Movie's forces. Massive EMP there, and Flash, even though he didn't have a lot of army in there, he had enough siege tank siege. Storm going off on a couple of siege tanks, but Movie's forces really getting taken down without doing any significant, any measurable damage to Flash there, and really you will feel now that Flash is starting to edge ahead in this game, starting to take advantage of those hallucinations just hiding in that corner of Flash's base there. But you feel that Flash is starting to pull ahead. Even though Movie does have the 4 bases, Flash has got 4 bases himself now. He's even in the number of bases. He's got a larger standing army, and he's killed, really, if you look at the battles that we've had so far, Movie has lost a lot of units while inflicting minimal casualties on Flash himself. It looks like Movie going in for another recall here. Movie feels that he really has to do something because he's in trouble right now otherwise. Again, Flash with the EMP, so precise with the timing of that EMP, and I don't think Flash is going to be able to do again I don't think Movie's going to again be able to create any significant inroads. He's going to lose his army again, and he's just lost 2 full recall worths of units in Flash's main in a desperate hope to try and swing the balance. And really, Movie is just going from desperation to greater desperation. After that first attack against Flash's Natural Expo didn't work out, he felt he just had to do something or Flash was going to run away with this game. And unfortunately, all he's done is worsen his position. He's lost 2 big armies, and really he's killed hardly anything of Flash's, and Flash is just continuing to secure territory, and you feel, and now Flash has managed, Movie tried to get that expansion up at that 11 o'clock position, but that's going to get taken down by Flash as well, and Movie just carelessly losing units. And I think this is the difference, guys, between being a really, really good player who can make it to the finals and being an amazing player. You don't see Flash throw away units the way Movie did there, the way Calm did against Flash in previous encounters in that long epic matchup, and that's really, I think, what separates the players who are ready for the primetime from the players who aren't ready to be champions yet. I remember that one of the first games of Flash that I commented versus Boxer, which was an epic 40-game matchup, and even though Flash had all the talent, all the skill, and probably better mechanics than Boxer, Boxer still managed to take him down, because really having the experience and the skill to last out 40 minutes is something that you've got to develop over time to be able to become that championship player, and that's something that we know Flash has. Flash is able to outlast in those long games and come out on top against the best players. I'm not so sure if Movie has that. Movie managed to get a decent stasis in, really committing his forces now, and great stasis by Movie. He's got a lot of brilliant stasis by Movie. Could he try and turn the tide of battle here? And this Flash is going to be hampered by his own supply depots with a narrow avenue to get in there. Movie has gotten in there. He's got a lot of units in play. He's going to try. He needs to get a storm off here to try and get those SCVs down. Flash isn't moving those SCVs away. Movie moving those high Templar in. Can he get that? Can he get that storm off? I think an EMP went off. He managed to get one storm off, but he seems to have missed most of those SCVs. He does have a smallish army there, but unfortunately, because he's lost so many units, and even though he got a brilliant stasis there, he's not going to be able to capitalize on it. And really, I think that's probably going to be the end of the game, pretty much. It's going to just put Flash in a comfortable winning position. Movie not able to take advantage of the fact that he had more than almost a full control group of units of Flash's stasis there, and he just didn't have the army to follow it up. And if he had saved those 2 recall armies that he wasted earlier, he might have been able to do some serious damage, although you have to give a lot of credit to Flash. Very effective with those EMPs, although I do felt Movie could have been a little bit stronger with his storms and tried to take those SCVs down, and he did manage to get one storm off, but it wasn't on top of those SCVs. I guess he felt he would be better off trying to do damage to Flash's army. Now Flash coming in with a bunch of vultures, and he's going to get a lot of probe kills here. There's only one Dragoon to defend those probes. Movie buys time with that Dragoon. The Dragoon sacrifices its life to try and help those probes escape, but unfortunately those probes are going to be hunted down and ruthlessly slaughtered. And those probes, unfortunately, running away, screaming in Protoss Metallic, still being butchered mercilessly by Flash's forces, and then Flash with a lot of spider mines in between Movie's forces and that Nexus that is getting taken down. Movie really needs to try and save that Nexus if he can. Decent drag with that Zealot. He's not going to be able to move in. He's got the Observer in play as well there. He still has that straggling of forces at the bottom right hand corner of the map. Flash trying to focus that Nexus down. I feel that Nexus is probably just about going to get taken down by Flash before Movie can take down those vultures, and it does. Yeah, the Nexus dies. So unfortunately, Movie unable to save that Nexus, and that's really going to hurt him. Apart from the fact that he's lost those probes, and this game just slipping away from him here. I don't see an avenue back into this game for Movie. Managed to get a couple of decent storms off, but really I feel those storms have come too little, too late for Movie. He didn't use those he didn't have those storms with him, and wasn't able to use them when he really could have make them turn the game to his advantage. And he is going to get outplayed by Flash here, and it looks like Flash is